The nation today, July 18, 2019. As you have noticed, I've changed my outfit. Am I not looking nice? I changed my outfit. I'll tell you why. So just hang on to find out what happened. You know, what happened within that transition that I had to change my outfit. I'm going to tell you in a short while. During this second segment of the program, let's read. We're going to take quite interesting reports, and we'll have some lovely kids in the house who are going to be doing some great work for us. So stay with us. And I always say, if you're not watching Cameroon Feeling, at this very hour, what are you doing? What are you doing? Tell me, what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, what are you doing? Okay. Well, I've said my own. All right, time for me to welcome the beautiful and sensational Suzan Bell. Suzan Bell, good morning.
Good morning.
You're in red. You're looking stunning.
Thank you very much.
What is up with red? Last week, on Tuesday, Elena Bison was here in red. Today, you're here in red, and your lipstick too is red. Is that a message?
Well, red symbolizes love. Maybe I'm in love. Who knows?
Whoa.
In love with our viewers this morning.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Suzan Bell. You're here to talk to a gentleman, Nsang Rudolf Nchanji. He's the author of The Greatest Leader in the World. The Greatest Leader in the World. Mr. Nsang Rudolf, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Suzan Bell,
yes,
it's all yours.
Yes, maybe before we turn to Nsang Rudolf, we've prepared a review of the book.
Okay.
Let's watch.
This 158-page book, The Greatest Leader in the World, 21 Blueprints for Transformational Leadership in Africa, written by Nsang Rudolf Nchanji, is to coach young leaders around the world towards making an influence in the world. An influence which will lead to positive practical changes and make them unforgettable. The author himself highlights sanitary measures for leadership and lays a framework for self-governance, productivity, management, servant leadership, resilience, positive influence, and integrity that will help leaders decide their purpose of living. By structuring his work in 21 pages, he breaks down information for a better understanding. Beyond this, his filmic technique is said to be edifying, and with this, every reader pictures his message and assimilates easily. Enthralling as the book is said to be, the leadership guide will open the reader's mind to understand that each day provides countless changes to make a difference. The chance might come in a private conversation or a meeting with colleagues. The author further highlights, when we choose to lead every day, we choose aspirations of long-term significance over short-term measures of success. He adds, it takes courage to lead, it takes courage to make a life. Courage, like leadership, is a choice. Nsang is a civil society activist, teacher, reporter, communicator, community mobilizer, fundraiser, and of course a writer. He has published articles on leadership and good governance online. He has written a collection of poems pending publication this year.
Thank you and welcome back. Well, Nsang Rudolf, good morning to you.
Good morning, and good morning to everybody.
Yes, as a young leader, what have you been doing so far?
I am first of all very grateful for the review. As a young leader so far, I have been running one or two activities in the civil society. I am the founder and the CEO of Silverline in Africa, a grassroots association in the Northwest region. We're actually based in the Northwest region for now. We do empowerment for young people in the orphanages and young people in rural settings. I've also been empowering students at the level of the schools in Yaoundé and in other places as well. I am a communicator, I do many other things, but I'm more focused with empowerment of young people, young leaders.
Of course, and since we are talking about leadership, the author of Innate and Purposeful Leadership, Valentine Magnon-Biagnon, once came to this set or wrote in his book that leaders are born and not made. And when we go through your book, you seem to share that opinion. Is it because of the fact that most leaders we have today are made, reason why we have leadership problems in Africa?
Actually, I would like to understand, or probably I would like to talk about leaders being born and not made in my own context.
Okay.
Leaders are actually born because every young person is a leader. Every person that is born on earth, it has the capabilities. Just like every young person has the capabilities of speaking the language, every young person has the capabilities of speaking the language of leadership. But now the challenge comes in on how, what we choose to do. Yeah, what we choose to become. If we have to lead, it begins first from ourselves. If we can lead ourselves very well, if we can keep our bedrooms clean, then we can actually keep other people's bedrooms clean. So the whole concept of leaders being born, it has to do with leaders accepting their positions as leaders who are leading the people. They are chosen by the people to lead the people. But now, leaders who are being made are those who probably are most often influenced. They are influenced by their society. They are influenced by how other leaders have been leading. We have the common situation in Africa where young leaders grow up to become like the old leaders. And that is actually a situation of being made now in the wrong perspective of it. But at the same time, though we are born a leader, we have the duty to make ourselves into better leaders. Leaders like Nelson Mandela, leaders like Barack Obama, and many other leaders that we know are great icons in the world.
Okay. You say today that young people test to be leaders, not for the right reasons, which is a call to serve the people, but instead for wealth and position.
Actually,
what actually does a good leader entail?
You know, good leadership begins.
Leadership, I mean to say.
Yeah, good leadership begins from self-governance, and then to productivity, and then to management, and then to positive influence. That's actually the point where we talk about leading other people. But leadership begins from the self. When we are able to lead ourselves, then we can now move on to lead other people. It's unfortunate today because we find many young people, I found this, or I discovered this particular phenomenon in Cameroon, where we have young people coming up, all right, I'm a CEO of this, I'm a CEO of that, I'm a founder of this, and so on and so forth. And the idea is, do you just want to be called that name? Do you just want to have that position? Or do you actually want to create influence in that particular position? So young leaders have the duty to create influence in the positions they find themselves. It's not about the position. It is not about the name. It's not about the worth. And the idea is that when you lead, the worth do follow. I can cite you examples of many people who started by leading. I want to use Nelson Mandela. Yesterday was we had an occasion at the Monash Foundation yesterday with the Lenora Faurecia Foundation to commemorate today, which is supposed to be the Nelson Mandela International Day. And something which I learned from there, which somebody said, was that leaders have the duty to first of all render service.
Yes.
Nelson Mandela rendered service. He was imprisoned. He didn't have money.
And he's remembered for that.
He's remembered for that. So he was imprisoned for a long time. I mean, if sometimes we just say, okay, he was in prison, it's just a small thing. But let's think about it. To be in prison for 27 years and then come out to become a leader, and then you lead for 5 years, and then you refuse to go in for a next mandate. That is something which is not African. It is not African, actually.
Well, Nsang Rudolf, tell me, it is evident that we stand, to gain a lot as a people with good leadership. Now, tell me, what will, in your own words, what's your take to aspiring and even leaders who are in function?
Actually, leaders who are in function have a lot to do. I want to say they have a lot to do because they are already in positions of influence. Remember, I said that leadership begins from self-governance and then productivity. I want to say self-productivity and then management and then positive influence. Now, influence actually comes at the last part of it. Now, those who are in leadership positions today, they have the duty to rethink their positions, they have the duty to rethink their activities in those offices in which they have been put to lead the people. It's a matter of, it's a self-conscious something. Nobody will force you to lead well. You have to sit down and rethink. We talk about Nelson Mandela. I want to use him specifically. He's a great leader. If we are, the UN actually endorsed a day, this 18th of July, that he'll be celebrated worldwide. Now, if we talk about him, it is simply because he made a difference. Now, leaders have to sit down and rethink their offices to see how they can create impact, positive impact in those different positions.
Okay, now how impactful will this book be? Your book, The Greatest Leader in the World, how impactful will that be?
This
you have
book,
written, it's true it's not yet launched, but how impactful when it shall be launched, how will that be?
This book is going to impact a lot of people. I think anybody who has so far touched the book kind of tries to see it from the perspective which I actually saw it. So I write the book, first of all, in a very simple diction that everybody can read and understand. The book doesn't tackle leadership from the end part of it, which I still insist influence. The book actually tackles leadership beginning from the individual. Number two, I use my personal experiences and other empirical experiences from people around, national and international heroes. I don't just write theories per se. It's more of examples, and then the book actually has this air of motivation. So those who probably pick up the book, they will have some leadership and then some motivation, to lead.
Okay, well, you say it's good to learn by example. You learn from examples, and so your story in here will certainly motivate and inspire those who want to become leaders, those who want to impact our society. So it will be best you get a copy. And since it's not been launched, how do we get?
I want to assure the audience of today, and you, probably you have to get the book when it has been launched. I want to assure the audience that before, I'm actually planning for something by the month of November. So by the month of November, we are going to have a launch of it. There'll be copies available. And you can probably get to me, maybe you can, my contact, okay, on 671-619-643. You can simply get to me by email, Rudolf Nsang, one word, small letters, @gmail.com. And probably you have a lot more information. And maybe those who also want to get more copies, those who want to partner with the vision, because it is not just my issue. It is supposed to be a national issue where we have people that can partner with this vision to say, okay, let me get these books for this number of people in this community. Let me get this book for this number of children. Let me sponsor this seminar for the information, the book to be disseminated, and also for people to get copies about the book.
Thank you very much, and Nsang Rudolf Nchanji, for stopping by. Suzanne,
yes,
thank you for bringing this great mind to us, and certainly this book is going to be a good reader for us all. And Suzanne, I take you to the South region. The second edition of the Mvet Oyen Cultural Festival is ongoing. That's in Ambam, in the Ntem Valley Division of the South region. And Ekang people have been urged to stick to their cultural values. And emphasis is being laid on the authenticity of the Ekang people, highlighted through traditional rites, and which Aran Sasumbok is inviting us to discover in the following report.
Hello and welcome to Ambam, headquarters of the Ntem Valley Division of the South region. Ambam is hosting the second edition of the Mvet Oyeng Festival, the Feast of the Ekang people. As you all know, the Ekang are found in Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, and Congo. That Ambam is host town of this festival is significant, given that it shares boundaries with countries that have a common culture. We are presently at the festival village, where we are inviting you to discover what the Ekang people have to show as culture and tradition.
Ce jeu a pour objectif de former les enfants dans l'agilité, la justesse, hein, et la concentration, parce que vraiment il faut être concentré pour jouer ce jeu. Ça s'appelle l'ondon. Et l'ondon se jouait à l'époque par les jeunes. Les jeunes que les parents apprenaient à être agiles avec leurs doigts. Parce que nous avons beaucoup de choses que nous travaillons avec les doigts. Donc il faudrait que les doigts soient formés. Hein? Il y a tisser comment on appelle, les filets de chasse, les filets de pêche. Donc, et même jouer aux instruments. Parce que pour jouer les instruments, comme le tambour, comme le tam-tam, il faudrait que les mains soient bien formées. Donc tout ça relève de cette formation-là. Les enfants négligent maintenant les choses que leurs parents ont commencé à faire à leur époque. Donc nous, on essaye de faire un effort, de faire jouer ça pour le moment. Nous le faisons, mais d'une manière un peu bénévole.
Je suis ici à la cuisine. Je suis dans la gastronomie et camp, donc du Gabon. Ici, j'ai fait un mets typiquement gabonais, le bouillon de poisson. Et ce poisson, c'est la carpe de l'ambaréné. Donc, c'est un mets qu'on retrouve généralement dans les peuples et camps qui habitent les côtes gabonaises, qui habitent les eaux du Gabon, en l'occurrence l'estuaire et l'ambaréné. C'est général là-bas qu'on consomme les bouillons. Le bouillon de poisson, il a une particularité qu'il est toujours pimenté. Et on le consomme généralement en fin de week-end, en fin de semaine, pour pouvoir se débarrasser un peu de toutes les sauces lourdes qu'on a consommées. Donc, il peut s'accompagner du manioc qu'on retrouve dans tous les peuples et camps. Il peut se consommer aussi avec de la banane et des tarots, des tubercules. Mais il n'est pas très recommandé de le consommer avec du riz. Les peuples et camps d'origine cuisinaient au feu de bois. Donc c'est ce que nous sommes en train de faire ici. Et c'est jusqu'à présent aussi la meilleure façon de conserver nos saveurs.
Ma tenue est faite à base du velours, c'est-à-dire c'est du coton traité et raffiné, tout simplement. Et cette tenue est faite à base de nos matériaux locaux, tels que du coton et des petites ficelles, comme vous pouvez les constater. Et pour travailler une tenue comme ça prend beaucoup de temps. Donc ça me prend 3 semaines pour faire ne serait-ce que le tissage.
Et c'est fait à la main?
Oui, c'est fait à la main. Ça fait à la main. Jusqu'à la couture, nous n'utilisons pas de machines. Comme vous pouvez le constater, c'est fait à la main. Donc il n'y a aucune machine là. C'est uniquement à maison. C'est à main levée qu'on travaille tout. Ainsi que nos accessoires faits à base des noix de palmiste, comme nos portes, que ce soit des portes documents ou pour d'autres petits matériaux, vos petits accessoires, vous pouvez les garder ici. C'est fait à base des coques de noix de coco. Oui. Et notre particularité, c'est de promouvoir la culture, non seulement du peuple ékan, mais tous les peuples du Cameroun. Le but, c'est de sensibiliser l'Africain, de faire comprendre à l'Africain que nous avons tout avec nous, mais il suffit juste de sensibiliser des gens, de les faire comprendre qu'on a la richesse avec nous et il faut juste prendre cela en compte, mais pas toujours jeter le regard à l'extérieur. Nous pouvons vendre notre culture. D'ailleurs, la culture, c'est le socle du développement. Sans culture, on ne peut rien. Sans culture, on est égaré.
The festival village is not only a ground for exhibition of products made by the Ekang people, but a venue for reflection. Traditional chiefs and anthropologists have observed that the Ekang people seem to be abandoning their culture and traditions in favor of the Western ones.
As far as African spirituality is concerned, I want to precise that there is no single community in the world that has reached improvement out of its own language, out of its own culture, and out of its own spirituality. I want to insist on the spirituality because in Africa we do say that the dead are not dead, If we succeed in any field in our daily life, Africans will say that it is because we have received the blessing of our ancestors. If we are failing, African will say that it is because we have broken the bridge between the ancestors and us. Because black African will say that God will never come down to help the people. He will help us through those we have known, through the other human beings. Which means it is very important for us to start practicing again our spirituality, because it is God Almighty Himself who is practicing, who is helping us through our spirituality. Who is to be blamed if the younger generation is not interested in African spirituality? Colonization first. The church. Church is a fact of colonization. And now I want to blame, in the second part, the parents. The parents must push the children to the study of the culture.
The Mvet Oyeng Festival is an initiative of the Ambam municipality. It is meant to contribute to the economic, social and cultural development of the Ekang and Central Africa as a whole.
Welcome back from the South region, where the Mvet festival is ongoing. That's of the Kanga people way back there. You're on Cameroon Feeling if you're just joining us today, July 18, 2019, and we're here to serve you a very rich infotainment package. Like we had them on Tuesday, they are still here. They are still here. Some young people, a different set of young people are here. I enjoyed what they prepared for us on Tuesday. I had a sumptuous breakfast. Today, they say they make beats for me. Beats. They are from the Lady M Academy. Young people who are spending their holiday period very, very, very well. I'm going to introduce you to them. I'm going to meet some two young people. I'm talking to them now. How are you?
I'm fine.
You're on Cameroon Feeling. You're feeling good, right?
Yeah.
You have been for holiday classes for a while now. So tell me, how's it been for you? What have you learned so far?
I've learned how to make beats, cooking, and knowing about God.
You've learned how to make beats, you've learned how to cook, and you've learned how to know about God.
Yeah.
And what again?
That's just all.
Okay, so what's your name, by the way?
Kelai Meli.
Kelai Meni. What class are you?
Primary 2 going to primary 3.
Primary 2 going to primary 3, and you're this bold. That's nice. Let me talk to another lady here. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What's your name?
Grace Killer.
Grace Killer. So, what class are you?
I'm class 6 going to Form 1.
Class 6 going to Form 1.
Yes.
What have you learned so far in your holiday classes?
Cooking. Well, I've learned how to do beats. I've learned the Word of God.
The Word of God. All right, I'm going to talk to one of your teachers. Maybe you tell me, what are you guys going to be doing for us today on the set?
Okay, on the set today, the kids are going to be doing simple bracelets and simple necklaces. So we have a bracelet with the name tags on it. So that was one of the first things that they learned. So how to write their names using the letter beads and some other beads. So like what you see them having on their hands. And then they are also going to do simple necklaces, just something simple like this one. That is what she is doing. And for the younger ones, they are going to do little bracelets like this, So basically, that is what they will be doing on set today.
Okay, I hope that I'm going to have a bead with my name on it. That's what one of the children told me a while ago, that are going to give me something, a present at the end of the program. We're looking forward to seeing what you're going to do, the works you're going to produce for us today. Time for me to move over to the other side, where I originally belong, to talk to some ladies who have joined me. The Slay Queen is lovely. She's happy to be on set today. Bimia Tabara.
No.
Welcome.
Thank you, Ngochi. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm not seeing your tie today. What happened? What happened to your holiday look? Oh, you betrayed me. You betrayed your holiday look today. That's not fair, Bimia. That's not fair. That's not fair. All right, welcome. Good morning. How are you feeling today?
Okay.
Fine, very fine. I love your outfit.
Yes, it's thanks to a beautiful lady standing by your side. Her name is Aye Claudine. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I did promise to tell you why I changed my outfit. So you see why I changed my outfit. In fact, the whole set has changed thanks to Aye Claudine. She brought this nice stuff for me, and Atogo, that's the name. And we are going to hear more about Atogo and more from Aye Claudine later in the program. Time for us to talk to Tabs. Tabs, today is Nelson Mandela International Day. Tell us what we need to know about today.
Yes, Jackson, every year on July 18, the world celebrates a great man, Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa. July 18 is known worldwide as Nelson Mandela Day. And Jackson, it is also his birthday. He was born on this day, July 18. Okay. Yeah. This day was officially declared by the United Nations in November 2009. And the first celebration was in 2010. July 18 was set aside to honor the legacy of Nelson Mandela, his values through volunteering and community service. Mandela Day is a global call to action where individuals are called upon to transform the world and to make an impact. Jackson, we also know that Nelson Mandela fought for social justice for 65 years. So on a day like this, people come together to fight poverty, promote peace and reconciliation, and also cultural diversity. South Africa's first black president, Nobel Prize winner and anti-apartheid icon Nelson Mandela, was born on July 18, 1918. Popularly known as Madiba, Mandela passed away in the year 2013 at the age of 95. He was known for his sacrifice to rewrite the history of generations of South Africa and the world. Kembe Jackson, in a short while, we will watch a video of Nelson Mandela. And when we come back, I'll leave the viewers with some inspiring quotes of Nelson Mandela. If the video is ready, let's watch.
We are humbled by the call for an annual Mandela Day in our honor. Our struggle for freedom and justice was a collective effort. Mandela Day is no different. It is in your hands to create a better world for all who live in it. Mandela Day will not be a holiday, but a day devoted to service. It is our hope that people will dedicate their time and effort to improve the conditions within their own community. We thank you for participating in Mandela Day.
A short clip of Nelson Mandela. Like I promised you, I'll be giving you some quotes, 10 of them, by Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, most
Jackson.
popular quotes of Nelson Mandela. So, 1.
The greatest glory in living is not by falling, but in rising every time we fall.
2.
I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear.
4.
There is no passion to be found playing small in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living.
5.
Poverty is not an accident like slavery and apartheid. It is man-made and can be removed by the actions of human beings. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do so. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice for all the freedom of their people. And when a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. And Kembe Jackson, this last one, it is what we have, it is what we make out of what we have given, not what we are given, that separates one from another. Those were some of the quotes by Nelson Mandela.
Thank you very much.